Right, okay, on the bench today it's going to be a build rather than a fix. I'm going to be building this kit that I got from youmakerobots.com. I initially looked into this when I did the work on the Dragon 32. I looked into to getting a loader so I could load software from SD card. I found this one online and that's what I've went for. You can load other software, and you can load the Maxduino excuse me, you can load the Maxduino software in as well, but it means you can load like Spectrum, Amstrad, CPC, ZX80, ZX81, MSX, Acorn Electron, the Dragon 32 or 64. Ones that won't work on are like the Spectrum Plus 2, the Amstrad 464, without having, you'd have to modify the computers. Like an Amstrad 464, you'd have to add a socket, a headphone jack, which it doesn't have. So yeah, it's going to be quite useful. And I also got the SD card, which is preloaded with software. So that's going to be handy. Once I've got it done, I'll either bring out a Spectrum or the Dragon 32 just to show it all working. So let's basically have a look at this and get cracking on with it. Right, now the build should be fairly straightforward. You can see on the board it's telling you that the buttons will be installed on this side. That's your little tactile switches on this side, and the OLED display as well is connected on this side of the board. If we flip it over, you can see that the Arduino Nano and all the other components are going to be fitted on this side. Only thing we'll have to do, the SD card module, these pins are going to have to be bent 90 degrees so that it sits basically like that. It's obviously a bit silly if it was sitting up in there. I'm not sure whether or not I'm going to just desolder these and fit ones that are already straight, because I do have plenty of them in stock, rather than putting pressure on here, but we'll see. The Nano is just a case of installing all the pin headers that come in the kit, and soldering that in position. So yeah, it's going to be pretty straightforward. So I'll heat up the soldering iron and we'll get started. Okay, so we've got the screen in next. Use a bit of blue tack with this, or white tack. fine. Just double check that. Yep, spot on. Just snip the ends off. That's that in place. I'll leave the little protective film on until I've done it. Right, I think next I'll get these pin headers installed. Another pin header attaches to the Arduino. Right. I'm going to put, these are quite tight, it doesn't feel like they're going to move, but just to be sure, I'm just going to tack each end. So I know they're sitting down. Nice and flat. Nice and flush to the board, and we can set this off the top like that. Perfect. And I'll just get these soldered in now. Yep, they all look good. Nice and solid. Okay, happy with that. Right. I think next I'm going to get this card reader in. I'll see how bending the pins goes. Needle nose pliers. Yeah, to be fair, they're bending fairly easy. Should be fine. Right, these pins have been bent into place, and they should fit through nice. Excellent. And again, use a little bit of white tack, a little bit of other side. Keep this nice and flush. That looks good. And let's get this soldered in. So what next? Okay, we'll put in the power jack. I'll have to use a bit of white tack again, I think. Place. Okay. Now I'll put in the seem to be missing something here. Where did that go? I'm missing a part. I'll find it in a second. But we'll get this on the board. It's actually it's the IC that I'm missing. I'm not sure where it's gone to. There we go. Little chip there. So I'll get this soldered down. This is on the silk screen, the little cutout matches the cutout on here, and this internal match the cutout for the orientation in the IC. So I'll place this on the board. Next we've got the 3.5mm jack. Just to hold it. Now we have the jack for the remote. Okay, that seems to be sitting in fine on its own. So that's all them in. It's just a case of getting these components in now. So we have 3 electrolytics along the top here, 10 microfarad, 100 and 220. So this will be the 10. Yep. And we have the positive. It's all on the silk screen. Positives on the left. Next one's the 100, which is here again. Look at the silk screen. Positives on the right hand side this time. this one should be a 220, which it is. And the silk screen positive is on the right, so that's the longer leg. That's them in. We have our 10 ohm resistor. It's in here. These last two components, 0.05 microfarad and 0.1. 0.1, I think will be that one, the 104, I think. Okay, I'm just going to double check, make sure I get them the right way around. A bit of a clean. So that's looking good. So basically the next thing to do would be we'll get the Arduino programmed with the software, and that'll basically be it, ready to go. So let's get that done. Right, time to get the software onto this. So we're going to switch over to the desktop view. Right, okay. Select the firmware, TZXDuino, COM port, COP6, board, select old boot, display, so OLED, and click upload, yes. Okay, and then you can't see that at the moment, but we have communication with Arduino. The RX light and TX light flashing away, showing that it's communicating. It should pop up. Yep, there we go. That's that completed. Right, let's go back to the device. Right, back on the desk, and if we flip this over, I'm going to hit reset. And as we can see, TZXDuino. Now if we go into I've inserted the memory card, I've just stuck a couple of games on. So if we scroll down the spectrum, as you can see we've got Manic Miner there, Mr. Do, which I'll probably have a little game of. I don't think I've ever played Mr. Do on the spectrum. So we'll give that a little go once we're done. I think what I'm going to do though is I'm going to install the Maxduino software, and we'll also upload a logo. So let's go back to the software. Okay, in the software now, so this time I'm going to go into logos and I'm going to choose BBC Micro. Again, select the COM port, board, same, LCD, OLED, and upload. Yes. Now you have to do the logo and the firmware separate. So you're basically flashing it twice. Okay, that's that complete. So we'll go again. This time select the firmware. Go for Maxduino, COM port 6, old boot, LCD, OLED, and upload. And yes. Right, and that's complete. So, okay, I'm going to hit the reset. There we go, we've got the BBC logo, the BBC Micro logo. And we can see there, Maxduino. The same thing, and go into the memory card there. So all we'll do at this point would be, we'd have it hooked up obviously through the headset, and we'd do the usual load on the Spectrum or whatever machine you're using, and you just click play and it'll start playing as if it was a tape. Right, so the Spectrum here, I was going to use the Spectrum Plus, but it's a bit bigger for fitting everything on the screen, so I'll just use this one. So first thing, I'm going to have to pop this open. Because I'll be using the composite cable made up for testing. There hasn't been any work done on this. Basically when I got it, I just turned it on, made sure it was powering up okay. And that was basically that. Let's just get these keyboard cables out. Hopefully they're intact. See, I haven't actually checked any of this other than for power. Right. Yeah, they seem in good condition. The whole machine's actually in very good condition. Right, so let's get this plugged in. Here and here. This composite cable in. Now I'll just attach this to the lead. Hopefully that gets us a good signal. And let's power this on. He says, okay, it's on the right output. I don't know why that's not coming up. Oh, there we go. this isn't quite clipped on properly, it looks it. There we go. Right, so that's coming up. So I'm going to reattach the keyboard as best I can. Right, let's get this started. Now we're on Mr. Do on here, so let's just type in the command, press enter, and if we press play on here, that's it started. And it actually shows you the percentage, how far you are into the file. 6% at the moment, 7%. That's kind of handy. And that's a splash screen loading up for the game. Not entirely sure how well I'm going to play this game with the rubber keyboard, or rubber keyed keyboard. I don't have a joystick interface that I can use. Right, so let's get past this bit and I'll come back once it's 100%. Right, let's load it up. Well, let's see if I'm going to be able to play this. So enter. So 3, define the keys. So we go. Right, so up, O, K for down, left Z, right X, and fire we'll just go for P. So 0 to start the game. Here we go. Okay, not great. Oh. Yeah, it seems like you're having to press the keys a bit in advance when you want to turn. Whoa! Not entirely sure why I died there. Okay then. Well, that was worse than expected. Right, but clearly this is working fine. So yeah, that was nice and straightforward. I should have just played Manic Miner. I think I might have been better at that. Right. Okay, I'm going to piece all this back together, get it back in its box, and I'll be back in a bit. Right, that's the Spectrum all ready to go away back in its box. So let's set it right around. See, this one is it's in excellent condition. I picked it up at auction for an exceptionally good price. A bit out of focus there. Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, the box is in good nick. A couple of little scuffs, but generally looks absolutely solid. Right, okay, that's that. I will be doing, I'll be checking that one over and running diagnostics on it, as well as the Spectrum Plus, which again, excellent condition, boxed, all the bits and pieces. Recapping both of them and doing the composite mod on both of them as well. Right, okay, that's that all done. I would say it's a very easy build. I mean, the instructions are more or less on the circuit board. The silk screen, very good, telling you where the components go, has the component values so you can't make a mistake there. Programming it was fairly easy, and you can program it with different versions of different software. So you can make that choice yourself when you get it. What I'll do is I'll put a link to this website. I'll also put links for the software and anything else that you may find handy. I'll put down in the description of the video. Right, so all that's left is to put this away until I decide to build an enclosure for it, which I'm going to try. No experience with using CAD software to make 3D printed boxes, but I'll certainly give it a go. Right, if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more like it, subscribe to the channel, it's very much appreciated. And if you click the bell notification icon, you'll be notified anytime I upload new content. Right, thanks for watching. Cheers.